All right, hey students, here we go. Lesson number 12. Not so easy, but also not so difficult. We're gonna be comparing the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous. So in this video, we're gonna talk about three main points or three ways that we can use the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous. So first one here you're gonna see is unfinished actions and unfinished states. Second one we're looking at is the result of an activity, which means we're answering the question how much or how many, and then the activity itself. So here we're going to be talking about how long that activity happens. And then the last one we're going to talk about, this is very common in British English, is recently completed one-time actions versus recently completed repeated actions. Say that 5 times fast. All right, so let's get into it. Here we go with slide number 1, unfinished actions versus unfinished states. So remember that we use the present perfect simple, present perfect continuous to talk about an action that started in the past and then it continues into the present, all right? So here's my favorite thing again, timelines. You can see here 2006 to today. I have been teaching since 2006. I started in 2006. I'm still teaching right now. So I have been teaching since 2006. All right. Or we can look at this sentence. Same 2006, same today. I have been a teacher since 2006. I have been a teacher since 2006. So the top example there is I've been teaching since 2006, and the bottom example there is I've been a teacher since 2006. What's the difference? Yeah, actually, they're the same. The meaning is the same, but the verb is different. Teach is an action. So in this case, we're going to use the continuous tense. I've been teaching. The verb be is a state. So here we're going to use the simple, the present perfect simple. So remember with ing or with state verbs, we don't use ing. So want, need, like, love, own. These verbs we don't use with ing. So that's kind of lucky. They're always going to be used with present perfect simple. So again, they have the same meaning. I've been teaching, I've been a teacher. Just the verb changes. If the main verb is an action, we can use ing. If the main verb is a state, we just keep it with present perfect simple. All right, so here's a bunch of examples. This is probably the easiest part of this video, so good luck. I haven't been exercising recently. So we can also use this in the negative. I haven't been exercising recently. I haven't had any coffee this week. Maybe I'm taking a break. This week is not finished. Have is a state verb. Exercise is an action verb. So I haven't been exercising recently. I haven't had any coffee this week, this month, this year. All right, I can say, oh, you look tired. Have you been working hard? You started working hard, continue to now. I'm looking at that as a continuous thing. Work is an action, so have you been working hard? I'm curious, have you liked this video? Have you asked me a question? Here I'm asking about like. Here is a state verb, right? But here I'm talking about life experience, slightly different meaning, but usually with that we use present perfect simple. I need to stand up. I've been sitting for ages. I've been sitting all day. Sit is an action. I want to talk about how that's continuous. And the new 24-inch iMac, oh my God, I have wanted a new computer for ages. So want is a state verb. Again, we use that with present perfect simple. So this is probably the easiest comparison, action versus state. Let's move on to number 2. This is where it starts to get a little bit more complicated. So here we're talking about a result of an activity or the activity itself. So basically what we're doing here is we're asking the question how much, how many, or how long. So let's take a look at this girl and this guy, right? What are they doing? Oh, she's reading, He is running. So here we're just using present continuous. But if I want to talk about how long they've been doing that or how much of that they've been doing, in that case I need to use different tenses, right? Present perfect simple or present perfect continuous. So we use the present perfect simple to talk about the result of the activity. Okay, so we're talking about how much, how many. I don't care how long. How long is not important. I just want to know how much or how many. So this is Mary. So here we're going to look at 150 pages and 3 hours. I think if I were to read a book, it would take me about 3 hours to read 150 pages. So that's what I went with. So I can say Mary has read 150 pages. This is the result of her reading. How many pages has she read? She has read 150 pages. Looks like quite a thick book, right? She has read 150 pages. But if I want to talk about how long she's been reading, then I would say she's been reading for 3 hours, or she has been reading for 3 hours. Now, this kind of goes against number one from before, right? Because I told you if it's an action, we use ing. If it's a state, we don't. But in this case, read is an action. So this kind of contradicts the first lesson, right? But here we're focused. The focus is important. Am I focused on how many, or am I focused on how long, right? So same, I've been teaching since 2006. I can say I have taught 2,000 classes, maybe more than that, right? But if I want to talk about how many hours or how many classes, then I'm going to use I have taught, even though that's an action. All right, so let's look at this guy. He's 10 kilometers and then about 1 hour, so he's pretty fast. So I can say he has run 10 kilometers. How many kilometers? How many? So we're going to talk about the result. So he has run 10 kilometers. All right, and then how long has he been running? Or here I'm talking about the time, the duration. I'm answering the question how long. So in this case, I'm saying he has been running for an hour. Now, same meaning, right? He has run 10 kilometers. He's been running for an hour. The meaning is the same. The focus is different. Do I care about how long, or do I care about how many? And that's it. That's really, really it. So next time, if you're watching a movie or something and you see that, be like, that's what Matt said. Now you know. All right, so how many videos have you watched today? How many videos have you watched today? I don't care about the time, I care about how many. Oh, I've watched 10 videos, I've watched 2 videos. And how long, or have you been watching videos all day? So here I'm talking about all day, duration from start to finish. So there you go, that's result, how much, how many versus activity, how long. All right, last one, number 3, before we do some practice. And this is very British. I'm Canadian, so you know not a lot of British English coming out of my mouth. But recently completed one time versus repeated action. So these have to be recently completed. That's really, really important. It means we can see the result now. So we use the present perfect simple to talk about a one-time action. Okay, one-time action that has recently completed. And again, this is mostly used in British English, and we have to see the result. So we look at this picture, right? He's cutting an apple, and then, looks like he has cut his finger, right? He has cut his finger. So this is completed. The action cut is finished, but I can still see the cut. I can feel the pain. I can see the blood, right? I'm still holding the knife. So in this case, again, if you look there, you see the British flag. This is a very British English thing because he cut it. It's still cut, so technically unfinished. But I think this is better. He cut his finger. American English, a little bit more simple. So in this case, just like I said, we use past simple. All right, so here's one more example. So the doctor says, oh, what happened? I go to the hospital and I say, oh, I have broken my arm. Again, this is very British. I broke my arm 1 hour ago. I went to the hospital. My arm is still broken, so that's why we're using that in British English. We're emphasizing that the action is still, I guess, happening, or the arm is still broken. But again, in American English, we would just say, I broke my arm, because it's finished, right? The arm is broken, the action is finished. So again, choose whichever one you want, doesn't matter to me. but they're both are okay. So if you're studying in a British English school or British English textbook, probably I have broken my arm will be the correct answer. If you're using an American English textbook, I broke my arm. Both, no problem. All right, and then we use the present perfect continuous to talk about an action that was repeated in the past, but is still, it's finished, it's completed, but I can still see the result. So look at this lady. Obviously, she's super tired. She's in the gym, but looks like she's finished. She's sweating. She's wearing her exercise clothes. We can see that I can ask maybe, why are you sweating? Oh, I have been exercising. I have been exercising. Again, this is British, mostly British. I have been exercising. I exercised for an hour just recently. I finished exercising. So in that case, they're still going to use it with present perfect continuous. But an American would probably say, oh, I was exercising. Oh, even though I'm finished, I was exercising. So again, same meaning, British English, American English, both okay. Don't worry about it. And just one more example, I can say like, oh, maybe there's a bunch of onions on the table. There's a knife. The man is crying. Like, why is he crying? Oh, no, it's okay. He has been chopping onions. He has been chopping onions. It's a repeated action, and it was in the past, and it's just finished. We can see the onions, everything. But American English, he was chopping onions. So there you go. 3 rules, 3 reasons why we use present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. Now the hard part. Let's practice. Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? If you have been watching this video, you will be ready, or you should be ready for this. So let's practice. I took this from my favorite book, Murphy. If you ever want to take a look at that, Grammar and Use, must try it. So let's look at the first example together. Where have you been? Have you been playing tennis? So again, this is recently completed, repeated action. So have you been playing tennis? Maybe I see he has a tennis bag. He's wearing tennis shoes. That's why we're using have you been playing tennis. How about number 2? Look, blank, somebody break that window. So I'm looking, the window's broken. I can see the glass on the ground, right? And of course, when we break a window, it's one time. So look, oh, here we go, some pictures first, sorry. I can say, look, somebody has broken that window. Somebody has broken that window. Because it's one time, but the window is still broken. So again, in American English, what would you say? Yeah, somebody broke that window. Good job. Nice. All right, let's move on to number 3. You look tired. So we had this example earlier. You work hard. So in this case, here we see a question. So we're going to say, have you been working hard, right? Have you been working hard? I can see, so tired, just like you can see, that girl in the middle picture. She has been working hard. She's sleeping on her desk. She's been working hard. We can see the result of her hard work. All right, and then the next one is, have you ever worked in a factory? No, never. So you might have seen this in lesson number 10 or lesson number 11 with present perfect simple. Here we're going to use this to talk about life experience. All right. And where's Lisa? Where has she gone? So again, this is very British. We would say, where did she go? Because she went out. She has not returned yet. So where has she gone? Where has she gone? All right. And this is a very old book. I have, that's a state verb. So we're going to say, I have had it since I was a child. I got it when I was a child. I still have it. So I have had it since I was a child. All right. And 2 more. Have you been busy? No. Look at the picture, that guy there in the bottom corner, right? I have been watching TV, right? So I started watching TV, still watching TV. I have been watching TV. All right, and the last one. This one's a little bit tricky. My brother is an actor. He appeared in several films. So several is like a number, right? So in that case, we're going to be talking about the result of an action, right? The result of an activity. So my brother is an actor. He has appeared in several films. So there you go. That's the difference between present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. If you have any questions, please ask. Always happy to help. Just ask that in the comments, ask that in the questions, and there you have it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.